I'm not quite sure what initially inspired me to pursue becoming a DJ at my small liberal arts college radio station. But regardless of my motives, I decided to train at, fun fact, the same station where TV character Ted Mosby from How I Met Your Mother would later profess his loyalty to. Yes, one of our station's most famous DJs is fictional. And after making it through a grueling series of trainings, meetings, and tests, I was accepted into the DJ community and began to prepare my request for a show slot. But what could I do to impress our recently NPR-affiliated station? I had heard whispers from other students about their original show ideas, such as bagpipe music performed by geriatric members of the LGBTQ community. And I needed to think of a unique idea of my own. I began to envision my future as the next Diane Rehm, except younger and with a sexier voice. No, I had to be slightly edgier, like a female Howard Stern, minus the endless badgering of my guests to show me your titties. Nay, I would be the Oprah of radio. People would need to tune in. They would laugh with me, cry with me, wait for me to reveal my favorite things. And finally, the path to fame and notoriety became clear. I would host a celebrity gossip and music show entitled Don't Cry for Me, Angelina. And it would be hosted by a brilliant on-air name that I came up with, DJ Tanner. A Full House reference, thank you, from my youth that I was and still am extremely proud of. I began to practice my radio voice in the mirror. And can you believe that Screech from Saved by the Bell has a sex tape? I mean, who's next? Principal Belding? Oops, she did it again. Britney Spears marries backed-up dancer in a wedding, sure to make the trailer park proud. And I, meanwhile, lined up an array of fabulous co-hosts who would share in the inevitable glory of campus celebrityhood. But when the schedule was announced, my heart sank. Don't Cry for Me, Angelina was given an alternating 2 a.m. slot. 2 a.m., I wanted to scream. Why is Acid Surf Rock performed by Jerry Garcia lookalikes on at 7 a.m. and I'm at 2 a.m.? Who other than strung-out stoners too high to sleep and truckers passing through our small Connecticut town ever going to know the full glory of DJ Tanner? But after shedding a multitude of emo tears, I decided that the show must go on. In the wise words of my radio namesake's TV sister, I decided to say to all those non-believers, "How rude." But unfortunately, my first show was an absolute disaster. As if to prove the programming director right, fucked up everything possible technologically. And when I finally did get myself on air, my first caller ever made a very hurtful request. Hello, you're listening to Don't Cry for Me, Angelina. Do you have a special request? Yeah, I do. Could you please stop speaking in a voice that only dogs can hear? And that was just the beginning of an onslaught of messiness that defined my time as a burgeoning DJ. Trudging alone through the Connecticut snow at 3 a.m., a mile uphill both ways. Fielding, I hope, prank phone calls, asking how long was too long to have an erection for. And another caller telling me that my voice made him think that I must have a face for the radio. I began to wonder if these callers were right. Was I completely unsuited to be an on-air personality? Was my face and/or voice destined for other things, like maybe a career as a dog whisperer? Was I bringing shame to DJ Tanner's pristine name? But then I received an unexpected letter in my station mailbox from an even more unexpected listener who inspired me to persevere in spite of all the odds. This correspondence originated from an inmate at a Connecticut correctional facility. To DJ Tanner and co-host MC Banana Freeze, RE, congratulations request for shout out. Dear ladies, this letter is to acknowledge my appreciation to you both for the radio show Don't Cry for Me, Angelina. As you can see by my above stated address, I am a Connecticut inmate presently, and merely ask that you give a holler to the peeps on lockdown. If that's not asking you for too much, because despite each of our individual situations, we cry and enjoy a good laugh too. So keep up the good work, all of you at WESU, and know that you are appreciated. God's peace and love to you all, inmate number 134579. Somebody was actually listening to my show. I had a fan, and regardless of what crimes he had committed, he liked me. He really liked me. No matter that I later found out that the small minority of female or female-sounding DJs had all gotten similar fan mail, somebody was listening to Don't Cry for Me, Angelina, and laughing and crying along with me. And my show was transformed. I developed a radio voice, which nobody could make fun of and call in. You're listening to Don't Cry for Me, Angelina on WESU 88.1 FM. Shout out to the peeps on lockdown. I cultivated a loyal fan base of night watchmen and new moms who no longer had time to read the Enquirer at the grocery store. Who else is up at 2 a.m.? And by my second semester was promoted to the 10 p.m. slot. I even discovered a little-known artist who was then unfamiliar to the public, but who became ironically popular on our college radio station before eventually hitting the big time. You may know of her. Her name is Katy Perry. And by my third and unfortunately final semester, as I had become passionate about my on-air life, I was promoted to drive time, the coveted spot of 7 p.m. And after doing all this hard time in the studio, I learned that you never know who is listening or where your voice, high-pitched or not, might make a difference.